So what made you decide to circumslay your queenness?
And I'm telling you,
Wow.
last week, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to wank. I sex streamed that in public on the street, Trump ate me out.
You did not.
I've ended dates minutes in.
Oh my God, we did it.
We did a live show.
Second one ever, and it went really well. Everyone in the office is like, oh my God, how are you feeling? I personally disassociated for the whole thing. But
blacked out.
Pip was there and present, and she said
Thank
it went
God
really
one
well.
of us was. No, yeah, you were great. We were both great. I was like stoked with it. We had some amazing comedians join us up on stage, and
Fuck, they were funny.
they were so
funny.
funny. Like genuinely, we were trying to work out the order, and I don't know if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but when they do a
on the odd
roast,
occasion?
yeah, on the occasion,
On the odd occasion.
the occasion, they do a roast right every sort of season, and they're always picking fights about the order, right? You got to get the order right, where it's like strong at the start, like the start, and then the strong in the end to finish off the show. Everyone was so strong. The order was perfect.
And it was so interesting because we spoke to a bunch of our friends after, and everyone was like, that was my favorite story. No, that was my favorite story. No, that was for my favorite story. And if you didn't come, obviously a lot of you wouldn't have because it was sold out instantly. We are going to be podcasting it, so you can watch it back on YouTube after this episode today.
Yes. So speaking of this episode, we thought to keep it in the spirit of Melbourne International Comedy Festival that we would get one of our favorite friends and comedians on the show, Will Gibb. Now, he is an incredible stand-up comedian. He's a podcaster. You probably heard him on You Wouldn't podcast with Pat, his best mate.
You definitely would have seen his TikToks.
100%.
He is so famous for making fun of, I was like, straight guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some amazing content out there, so you definitely would have seen him. But yeah, he couldn't make the show, so he thought, come on in, let's do a 30-minute pod. It's probably going to be longer than that.
100%.
So enjoy.
Okay, so Will, you were we just did a live show, which we obviously cannot stop talking about and bragging
Yes.
about. It went really well. Where the fuck were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how is your show going?
Fun, it's good.
Why Am I Like This?
Yeah, it's fun. It's like, it's silly and like the audiences have been really lovely for the most part. Few bad audiences, but that's fine.
Few bad eggs.
Just some timid audience members, you know, like, and I'm kind of like, why are you at the show? You know,
Yeah.
there's been 2 shows, but that always happens. I'm doing 25 shows.
You're going to get
There's going to be 2 shows where the audience is just kind of like a bit quiet. And that's fine. Like maybe, but they were enjoying it. They just weren't big laughers.
How do you go with heckling? Because some of your really funny videos are like you doing a whole bit around like having a full mental breakdown, a comedian having a mental
Yes.
breakdown on stage. How do you deal with hecklers?
I really like when someone heckles in a good, like, I like when someone throws out a heckle because then you can kind of go in on them and the audience will enjoy it.
Yeah.
When it's genuine. So if some people are just trying to heckle to get called out, you know, whatever. But like, yeah, I got heckled last night, which was funny. But like he was trying to like add to the bit or something like that. And then I just shat on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fun and everyone loved it. Because there's like nice ways of doing it. The worst is when people are like chatting because then you can't really shit on them too much because maybe some audience, anyway. But yeah.
I don't understand hecklers because I'm like, you're going to get owned. Like that's literally
Yeah.
what you're an expert at doing
Yes.
is like being really quick and witty and funny.
Yeah, like why would I want to go toe to toe in comedy with Will Gibb? Like no,
Yeah,
please
it's kind
no.
of yeah, but you know what? Sometimes they can be like quite good. Like that. Sometimes people have like a good call, and you're just like, that was really funny. And like, there's been times where I've just praised someone for being so funny.
Yeah.
but that is hilarious.
You know, obviously people know you for your TikToks and your like online stuff, like your reels and everything, and they're amazing. I wanted to ask you about one of your like famous skits, the couple that is meant to break up.
Oh yes.
So if you haven't seen this, we'll put a little preview on the screen here. Definitely go and follow Will and like look at these. But I wanted to know, is this based off anyone in your real life?
My parents. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry.
You're like, Mum and Dad, could you
I thought you were
please
mummy and
break
daddy's
up?"
boy.
To be honest, yeah, like there's been friends that have been in like really kind of bad relationships, but like I honestly just base it on like I'm just like, what is a terrible relationship? This, and then I'll portray, and then people are like, oh, this is so me and my boyfriend, and I'm like, babe, like, come on, like that's not
Like,
it.
Oh,
tag
really?
You know what I mean?
boyfriend.
Yeah.
They're like,
Tag
this
my
is
boyfriend,
so us.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be proud of that.
But like, I think it stemmed from that idea of like, I've always wanted to have a boyfriend, and I think I didn't get my first boyfriend till the start of 2023. So it was like I was so desperate for one, and then getting out of one and having that freedom, I was like, oh, like now my biggest nightmare is to be in a bad relationship. Not that was a bad relationship; it was a lovely one, but like, you know what I mean? Like that's like the vibe. I think, yeah,
interesting.
It stems from that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you, so in terms of dating life stuff, so boyfriend at the moment, any partners?
Nothing. Literally completely dead in the water. Love life.
Dried up?
Yeah, but that is on my own accord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I've only dated 2 people, and both relationships lasted like, you know, one was like 1 month and the other would have been like 2 months.
Right.
Quick. Yeah.
So you move fast.
Yeah, I was like, are we thinking like moving fast, but then like actually commitment issue, not wanting a relationship type energy, or?
Well, they were both long distance.
Okay.
Which is hard because it meant that when I was seeing them, I was like locked into this amount of time seeing them, which I think for me is, I've never worked well with the idea of like, I'm locked into this place. It's like always been something that I am really bad at processing. Like I don't do drugs, or I don't drink very much, because the idea of being locked into a certain mindset of like, okay, you take this drug and you're locked into feeling this for 8 hours, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that idea of like, okay, someone's coming up to see me, driving an hour, I'm locked in for 2 days of seeing this person. That feeling of like no control or trapped is quite scary.
But both of them were long distance.
Both were long distance, yeah. What they weren't that, you know, it was like an hour drive, hour and a half drive. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like a different city.
No, it was a different city.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, so I live in Sydney, and one was in Wollongong, and then the other was in the Central Coast.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
like, yeah, longish.
Okay, true.
Can we say that's long distance? I kind of longish.
It's my ex-
Sydney, you drive from one side to Sydney to the other, and that's like an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if this counts
Yeah,
as long
yeah,
distance.
yeah.
I think it is, because both of my exes were down from, I was in Perth and they were in Dunsborough, and that's 3 hours, and that's like Sydney to Wollongong energies.
Yeah,
You know, and that was long distance, because it was the same thing. You had to lock in for the whole weekend if you're going to see each other.
Yeah, it's not like you can pop in and grab lunch
Yeah.
and, you know, drive back, or come over tonight last minute and then leave tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? Like that's, anyway. But yeah, that feeling of being locked was quite difficult.
And obviously your job is so like transient, like you are traveling, you are touring a lot all the time. That obviously comes up in a relationship. And like, how did you manage that?
Well, I didn't manage it well
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
Like, you said, I chose not to.
It's funny because both of the guys that I dated were like the sweetest, nicest dudes ever. Like they're both so great. And like all the issues that stemmed from the relationship would have been my like ideas of, you know, like just me not being able to be very like, I think I'm over communicative, which means that, so both of them were kind of disarmed by me saying, hey, there might be a point where I just need my alone time. And they're like, fuck, well, when the hell's that going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, shit. So, yeah, I don't know.
One of my really, really good friends was this similar to you, like always wanted to be in a relationship his whole entire life. And like it was his be all and end all, like just dreamt of it. And didn't get into a relationship to his like late 20s for the first time ever. And then dated this guy, and then similar energy, was like so quickly like full on, and then was just like, actually this isn't for me. And now he's like living his best single life and is like, I don't think relationships are for me. Like, and I think there's something really freeing about that though. It's like putting this thing on a pedestal, thinking like, I guess like the world tells you that like you should be in a relationship or that's like your goal, and then doing it and being like, actually like being single is fucking sick and really fun, and you're figuring yourself out and like putting your career first. Is that kind of the headspace that you're in now?
Yeah, I think so. Like, moving into like, yeah, so like obviously doing comedy and stuff, but then like my big kind of like, you know, love is like film. And so like that is something that I'm like slowly stepping into. And like I've got like, you know, some scripts ready and, you know, and like that's kind of something that like where the future looks like it's kind of moving towards, which is super exciting. But for me, like the way I would write, for example, is like, you know, put my earphones in, go for like big walks at night. And like I'm kind of living in this world, and I'm like, you know, it's a really bizarre thing, but like if you know, I'm living in it and thinking all the time about these characters, and it's something like literally whenever I'm alone, I'm thinking in this world. So it can be very like hard to engage like with the partner. Like they're like, where are you? Or like you seem distant. I'm like, well, I am. Like I'm thinking about this thing, and it's so annoying. It sounds like such a wankery thing, but it's like, when I just feel like when my brain's like moving, like I have to like pursue a thought, or like there was with my last boyfriend, or not last one, but the one before, I was like, we were watching a movie and I just was like so stimmed at the idea of like this thing. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, can I just go in that kitchen there and just like write for like whatever long? And I just remember sitting there and I wrote for like, I don't know, 3 hours, and then like he's gone to bed. And like, I feel terrible. Like that's on me. Like that is not being a good boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? But that's the thing. I realized like at this stage of my life, like I will not be a good boyfriend because I will prioritize pursuing that creative vision or thought than spending quality time. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would relate to that as well, not only in like a creative industry sense or career, like people who are nurses, doctors, like FIFO workers, people where they sacrifice a lot for their career and they're just like, I don't have the headspace.
Yeah,
for
it's
a
like the
person.
timing's off. It's like a lot of your 20s is for a lot of people like going really hard on whatever it is like your dream is.
Yeah.
Whether that's like a career thing or something else, and like putting everything into it. And like, I don't know, I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's your 20s. For a lot of people, like just like buckling down and being like, yep, this is what the dream that I'm chasing.
Yeah.
And then if relationship comes later, it comes later.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. At the end of the day, like I want to make sure that the person that I was with, those last two people, like I knew I was like, I'm not being a good boyfriend. Like I want them to go and get what they want because I am in no place to give it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. At least you're self-aware.
Yeah.
So are you on the apps?
I am on the apps. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm
Love
on
it.
Hinge
Love it.
mainly.
How's it going? How are you finding it?
Yeah, like I like it. Earnestness on dating apps should not belong on dating apps.
Hard agree.
Can you please elaborate? 'Cause
Absolutely.
so many of our listeners absolutely hate dating apps. And I think a lot of them would be like, I would prefer the more honest, earnest side of dating apps.
See, so I will see like someone's like Hinge profile, let's say, and like what will get me excited is if it's something like silly, like for example, like one of the prompts is like typical Sunday, like my typical Sunday, and then my response, like my prompt is like after Saturday and before Monday, like stupid, like
Good.
so dumb.
Yeah.
And then like it's just so silly. But then some people's, if it's like typical Sunday and it's like waking up in the morning and going for an ocean swim. There's nothing better than feeling that breeze in my hair, and I just want my forever person to join me on my beach walks. I'm like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing you should know about me and what I'm looking for is like, I'll eat a whole packet of M&Ms in one sitting.
Yeah.
Okay, funny. And then some people's like, one thing you should know about me, I'm a very, very sensitive person. Like, if you cross me, I will only forgive you once. And from there on in, we're moving forward, like with blah, blah. And I'm just like, good luck.
It's so true.
Good
I've
luck.
been finding that as well. Like
Yes.
people who are way too earnest, it's such a turn off. And I get why you're doing it because most guys need help doing their profile. Like,
Defo.
and we love to like review our friends' profiles and help them out and like give them like little tips here and there.
I will say this. The thing I find tough with like dating and stuff like that is like, I don't find anyone attractive until I know them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I obviously there'll be like a hot guy, but holy shit, like that is a hot guy. And already there is that attraction. But like I'm not like sexually into them until like we've spoken and chatted and stuff like that, which is interesting, I guess.
I think there's pretty
Yeah.
normal. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to have some sort of conversation. I know for a lot of people they can just, especially like on Grindr, like rock up to someone's house.
No, I could never.
You
And,
know,
like, respect
and just
to
like
that,
suck
but I
a
could
dick and then
never.
Yeah,
leave.
they're
Yeah.
like, don't talk to me.
But it's
Yeah,
like,
say
yeah,
anything.
that's mad.
Yeah.
But I wish I could be like that semi sometimes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but like I'm like power to you. Yeah.
What about like people knowing who you are though? Like, do you find that hard to navigate because obviously you're so huge online? Do people like pretend that they don't know you and then all of a sudden you're on a date or like hanging out and then they're like, oh, like
That's happened before. Yeah, like that's happened before. I think the intention, it's hard to. You can clearly see someone's intention. Like if I get liked on Hinge and someone's brought it up in the first message, I won't match with them.
why is that a deal breaker for you?
Just because I don't like the potential power dynamic that might come with that. Because I'm someone that if there was to be a power dynamic in a relationship, like I would want to be the one without the power, if that makes sense, which is such a terrible kind of mindset to
not.
think. But like,
Being submissive is like, you want to
but it's so funny because I've got like the mindset of a bottom, but I'm a top. So it's such a horrible card I've been dealt. I'm like, I want to have no power, but also I want to be the top. Like it's just so funny.
We obviously wanted to talk to you as well about a surgery that you had recently.
Yes.
You've been pretty open about this on your Instagram, but we want to get the tea.
Yeah.
You had a circumcision
Yep.
or a Actually, I have a video for this. I've been dying to show you this video. It's me on
She's been talking about it in the office.
I literally every
weeks.
time I watch this TikTok from this girl, I literally like almost cry laughing.
It's so
and I was like, I can't wait to get Will on the show so I can
Show
show
me
him
this
this
now.
video.
If I were to take the fab skin off of your queenus, would that be a slaycumcision or a circumslay? Inquiring minds would like to know.
I love. I love
obsessed
gay
with it.
language. Someone said someone shot a mother bullet through John F. Cunty. Like that is so funny.
I love it
But
so
yes,
much.
I got circed. Yeah.
Would
8
you
weeks
call it-
ago. 8
weeks ago.
I think
Whoa.
time's flown.
That's
hey.
fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to circumslay your queenus?
Yeah, my circum queen. I got the mother's circ. I got circumcised because when I was flaccid, it was fine, like no issues. I could pull my foreskin back, totally sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was erect, it would only go like halfway down my head, meaning that pulling it further back would be really uncomfortable. It would feel really painful. It would be like a stretching feeling. It just would feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot, like sex is painful. Sex is tough. I've never enjoyed oral sex in my life because it's like, like I'm worried they're going to pull too hard or whatever. So I've genuinely never really had a very extremely pleasurable sexual experience.
Oh my God.
Like all of my pleasure from any sexual experience has come from like gratifying someone else.
Yeah.
So I have actually not really enjoyed it. And I was like, I'm sick of this. Like I'm 26 years old. This can't be my whole life.
Yeah.
So when I got my penis circumcised, would you like to see photos?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. I love medical photos.
Yeah,
That like
get
slipped
ready
out of my
for
mouth.
this.
I was
I'm like, is there blood involved?
No, I love
Yeah,
this.
there's blood.
I love it.
You
Because-
don't have to.
No, I want to because it's like a car crash. I can't look away, and
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
like intrigued.
Okay, so
Whoa, that's painful. Oh my God, it's and that's it. Like
So-
not even infected. It's just like this is just
that's
healing.
Yeah. So
Holy
the
shit.
first week,
Whoa.
I
Wow.
was crying every day.
Yeah.
Like
even on painkillers.
I wasn't on painkillers.
Hi, babe.
But because it didn't hurt, like there wasn't actual much pain. The pain was the extreme sensitivity. So because my full head hadn't been exposed properly, the issue was like even just like breeze on it or air or anything, it felt like ants like crawling over my skin. Like I could feel it like drying out. I could feel it felt like there was like something inside. And like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like it was like mentally, it was like I've never been lower in my life. Like the first 5-6 days, I was just looking in the mirror, like bawling my eyes out, like being like, I've made the biggest mistake of my life. Like, what the fuck have I done to myself?
Well, did
Like,
it feel a bit like body dysmorphia or something?
it was just like, what the fuck? And then the way my brain works, I was like, this will never recover. It's always going to be sensitive. I'm fucked. I'm such an idiot. My doctor was not did not want to talk to me ever. I'd call him and be like, hey, can I? And he'd be like, what? You know what I mean? He didn't give me any fucking advice. He came in the room and I was like full drugged up and like, he was just like,
horrible.
here's a sheet. Like he was so
Didn't even give you
unhelpful.
painkillers. Wasn't even like have the endone or the Pantene for it.
No.
Did you talk to anyone else?
I had a bunch of friends that had done it before.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And they helped me through it. People, it is very common,
Yeah.
I will say. And I met a mate of mine the other night who's doing the Comedy Fest. And he was like, dude, I need to go get it done.
We
And I'm
did
like,
an
"Holy fuck."
episode about it a couple of years ago, and it was like really common. And it was the similar situation to you where like it just the foreskin wouldn't retract.
Yeah.
But then we spoke about the fact that like you just had to avoid anything that would turn you on after. Like
So yes, so for like, so then there's that whole rumor like if you get an erection,
Yeah.
the stitches rip, which is not true.
Okay.
Like, which is great. Like for anyone that wants to
so
get
did
it
it
done.
happen to you?
Yeah. I would wake up every morning with an erection.
True, because you can't control it at
Yeah.
night.
I had so many intense sex dreams. Like it was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, because it was like the whole head of your dick that's never been exposed before is then
Yeah.
getting all this sensation.
Yeah.
So
it
you're
hurt,
literally like,
though?
yes.
It would feel like really not nice pressure. You know what I mean? It would feel like a headache in your penis. Is probably like a way I can maybe describe
Wow.
it. It wasn't nice.
So we're 8 weeks out now from the search.
Yeah.
How are we feeling? How's the queeness?
So the queenness is good. I've not engaged in any sexual activity with anyone else. I've been wanking, which is interesting. Like there is a big difference in the masturbation.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, the difference is like, I guess, like lubrication. So also it's like, because I had the protection before, it's like when I would usually wank, you know, I'm kind of in the camp of the ladies, I think, where a lot of guys will wank in like 2 minutes. They're like, I want a nut and done. Whereas when I feel like wanking, I'm like, I want this to be like a thing and I'll really take my time and normally I'll go for like 45 minutes
Hell yeah.
because I'll just really enjoy it. And like, if I get close, I'll stop, I'll go on my phone I'm just like, this is really fun. Like, but with this, it's like, if I don't get it out in the first like 20 or so minutes, then you start to kind of lose feeling and you start to kind of like, it's harder, like you might lose your erection and it's harder to get it back again.
Huh.
So if it's not going to take 20 or less minutes, it's going to take over an hour. And I'm telling you,
Wow.
last week, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to wank. Yeah.
To come at the end?
To come.
So you're like edging yourself.
No, I was actually trying to come.
But yeah, like
yeah.
metaphorically, you
think-
were
Yeah.
like, God damn it, I'm so close, but
I was
I'm
like,
But
not.
you think it would be more sensitive because of like that area not being able to fully be
I think
touched
because
before?
the friction around different bits of the head, after a while of it getting enough friction, it just kind of is like, I can't actually feel anymore. You need to stop.
I'd never considered the fact that you need to relearn how to masturbate.
Yeah.
Like with this. I'd never even thought about that.
Funnily enough, I don't think I've ever been with someone that was circumcised, but my mate was telling me, and he's an older gay, and he was like, when you're with guys that are circumcised, they last a lot longer. So again, look, it's all new and all that stuff, but like that's what I'm noticing at the moment. It might be different as, you know, it still continues to heal.
We'll
but
do
yeah.
a check-in at the 3-month mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
yeah.
another update
Yeah.
and see. We'll do like how long's the time taken.
Oh, yeah, but it's crazy. Yeah,
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you to have sex.
I know.
I know.
With your
I'm
new
really
penis.
excited.
I
I'll
know.
live stream it. Yeah,
Please go
Just put it on
live.
Pornhub.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God, Will Gibb OnlyFans?
yeah. Please.
wow.
I've always thought of doing it, and then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't. Yeah.
What?
I know. I've always thought about it. I was like, I just fuck it. But then I'm like, I don't know if it will affect career stuff down the line. It shouldn't, but I feel like it could.
As a man, I think you'd be fine.
That's what. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
When people said that, I said, you know what? Because I'm not a woman and I'm not going to face any sort of like misogyny, I reckon I'd be fine. That was genuinely my.
You
thought
might even be
process.
celebrated.
Literally, I was
Yeah.
like, do I benefit from like the inherited misogyny of our world.
Yeah. And you know who does really well on like OnlyFans? It's like men. Like Girthmaster.
Girthmaster. I mean, women obviously do
Oh, they do great.
incredibly.
But there's like less market. Although
I just don't have anything to offer. Like I don't have a big penis. Like, I don't know what you're gonna.
you take an hour and 45 minutes to come.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
watching,
yeah.
they're like, hurry up.
Yeah.
It's like slow, you know how that's become a trend of like slow TV? It's like
Yes.
slow masturbation.
Yeah, literally.
2 hours.
Literally.
Just
Okay,
watching.
I love that.
Tune in. Legit.
Okay, so we're going to start a new little thing on the hookup where we're going to do a book club because we like reading books. Can you read?
I've
you
tried
read?
before. Yeah, it's hard.
Wasn't for you?
Yeah, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a movie guy, obviously. Your love, as you said, is film.
Yes.
Film buff, you got Letterbox, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
We were wondering if you could give a little movie recce for anyone listening or watching who has a crush. They might want to go on a date with somebody or they might want to bring them home, let's say. Have like a little movie night date. What movie would you recommend?
Well, why don't we even go one step further? Why don't you guys like walk me through what the date was and like the build up to the build up to the movie, and then I'll say what movie would best fit the vibe.
I think for me, I'm almost feeling like, I know this is really old school, no one says this anymore, but Netflix and chill vibe where it's like, come over to my house. Well, I've made some food. I've got some snacks. I want
But
to
the
like
Netflix and
cuddle.
chill is like, you don't really care what
You
you're
don't care.
watching.
Well,
so
I
maybe
mean-
that's not the scenario because I want to actually know what you think
I want
is
both
like a really
options.
good movie.
Yeah.
Like I want your actual recs.
Okay, well,
Like
I'm
someone you're
thinking,
trying
like,
to
date-
impress. Like someone you're like really trying to like win over by like, you know how everyone's like, oh, my favorite movie is like Kill Bill or like, do you know what I mean? It's like they always go for the one that like everyone thinks is a
Well,
really
I think you have to do a film that is sub 2 hours, definitely. You cannot do more than 2 hours. You also can't do a film that's so amazing that you're both so invested in it, because then there's almost that release of like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too dramatic, but like when I see a movie I love, I'm like, holy shit, like that's my next 3 days, like
locked in.
my mind locked in. So I would go as far, okay, a great film suggestion that's like good, but it's kind of like trashy, but like not that good, is I think it's called Searching. It's got Storm Reid in it, and it's all set on like it's either Missing or Searching, but there's one called Missing, there's one called Searching. Either one of them. And it's like all set on this girl's like screen, like computer screen.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see like she's like looking for her mum. Is it called Searching?
Missing.
Missing. Iconic. And I believe it's on Netflix.
okay.
Or it might be.
Is it like a thriller?
Yeah, it's a thriller. Yes. It's so good.
Don't. That
It's
scares
so
me.
good.
They're obviously
I
missing.
love a thriller and like I love
Yeah.
a horror to watch with like anyone, with a friend or with someone you're interested in, because then you have
Yeah.
And then you can be
Closeness.
scared, and then you're like, oh my God.
and like horror films make me laugh so much because I'm like scared, but it like brings out like maniacal.
Catharsis,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm literally like cackling, and I find that like a good release. It makes me feel good. I would also say, to your point of like being like the film has to be good, but not too good that you get involved and you get distracted from your potential date. I think there is an art to putting on a movie where you know you just want to fuck on the couch and it's in the
Yes.
background, but it's not annoying and it's not like distracting.
Because there are type of movies where you can talk while it's happening and it
Yes.
adds to the experience. So Missing, for example, oh my God, like what? It's
Yeah.
like, wait, imagine this, blah, 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 like you can talk over it. Whereas if you're watching something a lot more quiet and reserved and it's like a, good movie, whatever it is, talking can kind of take you out of it. And if it's meant to be immerse you. So you want something that's not meant to immerse you and just it's aware it's a film and it's just like giving you things. That's what you need to do. Stuff like Missing. Yeah, that's the vibe, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would put on Booksmart if I just wanted to.
Booksmart's
suck
such a funny
dick.
movie. I love that movie
Like so
so
funny,
much.
but I'm also like I've seen it 3 times and I'll just.
Is
go
that the
down
one
on you.
with who's that with?
It is with
Caitlin Dever.
who was the girl from Apple Cider Vinegar.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's so
so
funny.
Jinx.
God,
Wow, what the hell?
all these records we're getting.
So Will, we have this little chatterbox that we like to play a little game with our guests. Would you be down?
Yes.
Do you remember how to do
obviously. Imagine I'm
this?
like, no. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, what would you choose out of these pictures?
Bum.
BUM. Pick a color.
I'm gonna go blue.
BLUE. Pick one more color.
Purple.
All right. What's the most memorable sex dream you've ever had?
This one was very recent, and I'm really like ashamed of it because I had a sex dream that in public on the street, Trump ate me out.
You did not.
Yeah.
What?
Like really, and he was like fucking so into
Like
it.
ate your ass
Yeah. And like sucked me off and just went everywhere.
on the street?
Yeah.
Was this like a was it a street that you walked
London.
through? Oh,
Oh
London.
my God,
I don't know
Will.
why.
Wow.
It was
Was you on the
fuck-
TV or something before that
Yeah.
day and you were
It was
like,
insane.
Yeah.
were people watching?
Yeah. Everyone was just walking
And
by
they just,
on the
like,
street.
grabbed
Some
the-
people were filming it.
Did you like
Yeah,
it?
there was like a film crew. I was like, this is, and then he was like ripping his shirt off, and he was like howling and like loving it.
I'm sorry, but did you wake up and you were like, damn, I'm
I
kinda
woke up
turned
and I
on.
went, I need to tell everyone in the world that this just happened. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I still don't know why.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
You know,
We need a dream reader.
it's definitely
Yeah.
a thing where people have dreams about people that they kind of hate, and then it's like a hate fuck almost.
It was so intense. I was like, wow.
Whoa.
And then you end up really confused because you're like, wait, if you like came to them in your dream.
yeah.
Yeah.
next
I
day
was
you, like, wake
what?
up and you're
I
like-
was like, what happened? Yeah. So bizarre. But there you go. There's one.
Love it. Let's do another one.
Please.
Okay, choose a
Go
picture.
the vagina.
Can I just do pussy?
Pussy, yeah.
One B.
do it?
You, I can't.
Yeah.
You wait. I'll hold this, so you get a turn.
PUSSY.
Yellow.
YELLOW.
Orange.
Okay. Most taboo kink or fetish you've ever had.
So mine is like sometimes like my straight friends, definitely like wanting to hook up with them. I think is the vibe. Just because like that's I don't know.
Like,
It feels so it's
Girls
so
or
off
gay?
limits.
Girls or guys?
Guys, yeah, like my straight guy friends, because it's so off limits and it's so like like it's just never gonna happen. But like that world, that like fantasy and stuff like that is like such a thing. And I feel like straight men is like so. Like my type, like that's like what I find attractive. Do you know what I mean? Like a straight guy being like, I've never done this before. Like that's kind of the vibe. I
Hey,
feel.
there's heaps of hetero flexible.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Guys
yeah,
on field,
yeah,
babe. I
yeah,
think you
Get
need
on
to
field.
change her out from
Yeah,
Hinge.
jump on there.
Yeah, there's something in that where you're like, I'm gonna rock your world right now.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I'm gonna eat your ass, and you're
Yeah.
never gonna be able to have sex with a woman again.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe.
There's something powerful in that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so Will, we asked you to bring a hot take in before you got here, and we checked before we went on, and you said, "I've got mine." So Will Gibb, what is your hookup hot take?
Mine is that we should normalize ending dates early.
How early?
I've ended dates minutes in. Yeah.
Okay, what was the date? What's the context? Tell us about
Like
this.
I met up with one guy for like a feed at a pub, and he just looked so different to his photos, and I was just like, look, I've actually got work, and he's like, really? I thought you said you took it off. And then I was like, okay, look, honestly, like I just don't think. It was maybe like 15 minutes in, and I was like, be honest, like, do you really think this will go? And he's like, oh, maybe not. And I'm like, so what are we doing?
I kind of love that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I value my time and his time, right? So it's like, I value you. I don't want to waste your time. I've seen you, and literally the second my eyes locked onto your body, I thought I want absolutely nothing to do with you. And if I could have and you hadn't seen me, I would have left and just texted.
Ghosted.
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
Oh,
Actually, I wouldn't have ghosted. I would have
You would have
said,
been like-
hey, just so you know, like, this isn't a thing. I'm not about the time waste.
So we got to normalize, normalize like letting people know radical honesty.
Radical
basically.
honesty.
But like, how do you save someone's feelings in that moment where, because they might be feeling the same way and you've just done them a service. But if you go away feeling like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit, they didn't even want a bar of me.
I think
You know
that
what I
then
mean?
it's just like, honestly, like, I don't want to waste. I think it's just being honest. Like, look, it's hard.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, what,
You
saying
don't
that
wanna
they're
do-
ugly? Like,
yeah,
you're like, sorry,
yeah,
so
yeah,
fucking ugly, I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
And it's
Or
also,
you-
there will be some people who would be like, just get to know them a little bit and you might like warm up to it. Like you might start to, but if you've
I'm
been
so
catfished,
no.
Yeah, I
I
was about
so
to
know.
say there's something
Different.
ethically about being like catfish though, where you're just like, look, this is like just on principle.
Mm.
I don't really feel comfortable about the fact that you really lied about who you were, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe the hot take is like, normalize telling people like you need to update your fucking profile.
Yeah.
You're
Update
fugly.
update the looks, please.
Yeah, like last
Yeah.
6-month photo, get rid of that.
Yeah.
Take a selfie.
How long do I think photos? It's like you can't have anything longer than 2 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I think that's too long.
I think
You
you can
reckon?
have like, I mean, guys don't have a lot of photos. Like, I think like you can
that's
have
a
something
problem.
from your fishing trip from 2 years ago, you know,
Yeah.
where you're really proud of what you caught. But then just make sure you have something that's like a month ago.
Yeah, but be real. Like, if you genuinely look the same as you did 2 years ago, fine. But like, not many people do.
Well, if you like, I feel like if you're having a radical transformation, like if I now go buy a buzz cut, I should update all
Oh,
my
God,
photos
yeah.
to have a
Yeah,
buzz
yeah,
cut.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
vibe.
you've got to like do a current look, but I
Yes.
think you're allowed to have like photos from like the past 2 years of like different looks, you know?
Yeah, realness.
I
It's
don't
like,
know. I'm
this
cutting
is
it
me
at a
now.
year.
This is
A
me
year.
now,
A
but
year.
I'm like, I could also look like this.
Yeah.
But you're right. Guys don't take photos.
don't take photos.
Do you take photos of your friends?
I take photos of my friends, but I'm never in the photo.
You can just take
kidding.
screenshots of your
Yeah,
TikToks.
exactly.
You'd be like, this is
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
a week ago
So
when I made this
funny.
really funny bit.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, that was a great hookup
I
hot
love that.
take.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Will, this has been such a pleasure having you. This has been so fun. Obviously, we were Devo that you could not make our live show, which, by the way, will be coming out very soon on the
Yes.
podcast and the podcast.
YouTube.
It's a special 2-part
Slay.
episode. So where can people find you online?
I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok, and my name's Will Gibb.
And please go to your shows, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm at the Comedy Fest for another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
Will.
thanks, Will.
Thank you so much.
Illy.